And welcome everybody to the show known as Skate Diary, where you get inside my head and I get inside yours, and we just have a fantastic time having a party and doing stuff, drinking coffee, or coffee, depending on where you're from. I actually don't drink coffee. But anyway, this is the show where you get to follow me through my skateboarding progression, and I document everything so you guys can see it, and I spew it out to you guys in the form of a non-scripted video. So, yeah, let's get right into it here. The day you see before you is 9/20/15. Yeah, it's been a little while. Kind of sorry for the late upload, but it happens. I've been doing stuff. Let's see, this is Sunday. The warm-up I did for this day, I just ollied a couple times. I was trying to get high on those. I did pretty good. I don't really know how high I was getting. Probably maybe 2 feet, 1.5 feet. I don't know, something like that. And then I did some frontside 180 a couple times. And then I'm also trying to pivot more on my frontside 180. So I go up, turn, and then as I go back down, I kind of pivot on my back trucks. You know what I'm talking about if you watch a bunch of more experienced people, not like myself. I also tighten my trucks to like a 1/16 of an inch. I usually have my trucks tightened where the bolt is flush with the kingpin. And I tighten them down like a 1/16 of an inch. And I might tighten them down even more because I'm liking the tightness. I skate my trucks as loose as they can go, in other words. So, yeah. Trying to get that be a little bit different. For the session, you're going to be seeing something called a backside 180 pivot is what I'm calling it. And I can explain that to you. And then also practicing pivoting the right direction through that backside 180 because I'm kind of doing it wrong. And yeah, so let's get right into it. As you can see here, here's like my kind of like my warm-up beforehand for the backside 180. I'm trying to turn, and I'm trying to land on my front trucks and pivot more. Again, this is the same thing like I was practicing with the frontside 180, but now I'm doing it with the backside 180. Yeah, I did that for just a little warm-up, and this is the backside 180 pivot thing I'm talking about. I'm pivoting the way like I would if I had like landed on the nose in a nose manual and then just turned the rest of the way. Later I found out this didn't really help, and then here I'm trying to get my like land on my front trucks in like a nose manual position again to help that out. I don't know if this helped that much. And then here you can see I'm trying to finish it off with that. That's kind of the idea I'm going for. I don't know if that helped that much. But anyway, I go on to practice it, or practice this backside 90 thing. And I would not recommend this to anybody because it does not help. Just don't do it. I think it's a good practice step. It's not really. It's actually, I think it's harder than trying the backside 180 full rotation instead of the 90. I don't know. So I stopped that after a little while because it didn't really make any sense. And here I'm trying to figure out which way I'm supposed to be turning for that backside 180 pivot. I don't know why this was confusing for me at the moment, but I'm like turning all these directions or pivoting all these directions except for the one I wanted to go. And here we go. That I had the right idea. I was going the right way that time. So like that. And that was my first like actual attempt. Yeah, it was a little bit, I was feeling a little bit scared first time because, you know, you're like balancing in your back wheels and stuff, and it's not particularly comforting. Here I am a little while later. I had it down a little bit better, like 15 minutes later. So, yeah, I did a bunch of that, a bunch of this. This did help. I'm going to say it right now, it gets you much more comfortable turning backside. So I would definitely recommend this to anybody trying to learn backside 180s. Because it gets you, I mean, if anything, even if you don't believe it helps you, it makes you learn a different way to pivot. So yeah, that's pretty much what I learned there. And then real quick here, this is just kind of something that I did for fun, just kind of a weird thing that I did. This is actually part of our old deck that we took apart, and I'm like, hey, you know what? This is kind of nice height to like practice standing, getting into a board slide on. So I kind of like set up for this fakey board slide. And yeah, and just kind of went for it from there. And yeah, this was actually pretty fun. It made my board pink on the bottom because you know my board's white and the deck paint's red, so it made my board a little pink. There I am testing out, see how stable it is. This thing's not stable at all. If you go and actually do practice this, make sure what you're practicing on is stable. I was kind of getting stubborn and just did not want to give up, so that's why I ended up doing it, but I wouldn't really recommend it unless it's a stable obstacle. That one is pretty good. Most of this is just commitment. And see there, I stood on there. Most of this is just commitment, and then once I get on there, I feel it wobbling, and I'm like, nope, okay, I'm getting off. And that's pretty much what it is the entire time. Yeah, but this was really fun, and I actually really enjoyed this because I felt like I was getting someplace. So here, what you're about to see is some slow-mo of that landing on the front truck ollie thing that I was doing. So yeah, these are all of them that I actually did get on the front truck. So here you see my foot is totally up on the nose, just to confirm that it's actually up there, and then as I go down, I'm on my front truck. So I'm definitely getting it. Honestly, this is probably a pretty good practice for nose manuals if I ever end up doing nose manuals, which I imagine I would. Most of these just kind of look like ollies, like sloppy ollies. This is pretty much what all these look like. And then here, same deal. Just a review for the fakie board sled. This is my best one that I did. So I go up, stand on it. Oh no, it's wobbling. Get off. Pretty much what happened there. And so here we are with the next day. Let me quick go over what that was. That whole session was about like what? Where is it? Like an hour and 30 minutes. I did that pivoting thing, that backside 180 pivoting that I talked about there for like whole 30 minutes, and then I went to try the standing board slide. Did that for about like 15. So I was very happy with what I accomplished. And then something's a little bit different now. Starting this day, I can just do some things a little bit easier and not think about it as much. I'm not overthinking as much as I used to. So something just kind of clicked. I'm not sure what it is. It could be the fact that I'm just kind of like taking skateboarding as, okay, I'm going to try these tricks, and when I learn them, because before I think I was putting too much pressure on myself to learn them too quickly, and it was kind of taking the fun out of it, and that's why I had a lot of problems committing. But now I think it's a little bit better because I'm just kind of taking it and like, okay, when I learn the trick, that's fine. If I learn it in 2 years, so be it. I don't have any goals. So this next day is what I did not film the next day, which is 9/21, which is actually the day after. It's the Monday. No warm-up, just did pivoting like yesterday. And then nothing looked different, so I didn't film it. And then I did this little like frontside 180 to ollie line, if you even want to call it that. Let's see, and then what else? So this next day here is going to be 10/2/15. This is the one you're going to see. So a little while later, almost 2 weeks later, and it is a Friday, so I am not going to be listening to music pretty much from this point. I'm going to stop saying that. I warmed up this day with ollie a couple times and frontside 180 a couple times, and that warm-up took me about 15 minutes. And so now what you're going to see is this backside 180 into the grass. This is my thing. That was a really good pop, actually. This is my thing that I had for trying to practice the backside 180 motion again, is do it into the grass. So you don't have to worry about slipping out. And okay, I'm just going to give you a little spoiler alert. This does help. This definitely does help. I would highly, highly, highly recommend it. And I'm pretty sure it would help anybody learn any trick that they want to learn moving, like backside 180, kickflip, whatever. Because you don't have to worry about slipping out. So here I'm getting around, but the only problem is my shoulders every single time are not turning the way I want to. And here's a little while later, kind of doing the same thing. That one, see, I'm turning around for the most part, but my problem is I'm not like turning my shoulders. See, my legs turn and then my shoulders turn. So here you're going to see a slow motion of one of them. I can just show you here super easily. See, look at my shoulders aren't turning at all, and then my feet turn afterwards. Here you can see shoulders, I go up, shoulders still not turned, feet turn, and then my shoulders turn. It's very kind of messed up, and I really don't like it. But it ended up playing out in the end. I'm just going to give you a spoiler right there. But I would highly, highly, highly recommend doing those things into the grass if you're trying to learn a trick moving, because it did help. And that definitely got me more comfortable turning backside, because it's a very hard thing to get comfortable with. Let's see. I had a couple feel really good, apparently, through the session, even though I didn't turn 180. And then 20 minutes later, after I practiced that thing in the grass for 20 minutes, I ollied a few times, and I went super high, like one of those times. And I think it reinforces the opinion that when Aaron Cairo puts the Braille skateboarding made simple in the order that he does, as long as you just kind of follow that, practice your tricks, you'll progress naturally. And as long as you, don't jump ahead and go too fast through it, then you'll be good to go. I'm just going to check my time here. Okay, we're still doing great. But yeah, so that reinforces my opinion, and just have fun and you'll progress naturally is what he's trying to get through. And that super high ollie I did after the backside 180 practice that I had was really, really, really cool. Of course, I like slammed really hard because once I got midair, I'm like, oh my gosh, and then I went dead forever. So I was very confident at the end and very tired, but I felt like I learned something about backside 180s. Doing it into the grass like that. One thing that did help me with that is focus on turning without the board, and then just do the same thing with the board, pretty much. So ignore the board, and then just turn, and then like the board will follow you after a certain point, if that makes any sense. Don't focus on turning the board, focus on turning yourself. Okay, so then these next days here, warm up, which is 10/8. Let's see, when is this? Oh man. If I can remember dates. Holy, okay. So 10/8 is, oh my gosh. Okay, 6 days later, I don't know the day. Confidence normal, again, no music. Frontside 180 couple times, ollie couple times. 15-minute warm up. Back did the same thing, backside 180 into the grass. Looked the same as last time. The day after that, same thing. Again, reinforced that I said this again, reinforced that the skateboarding is simple. The way that it's ordered is you progress naturally, and it's starting to sink in a lot for that. I did a bunch of backside 180s into the grass, nothing different again, and then 10/13, which is 4 days later. I didn't really do a warm up. I ollied a few times. I still think it is easier to ollie than 180. Some people may argue on that, but I still think it's easier to 180 than it is to ollie, because there's something in my brain, I don't know what it is, that I just can commit easier when doing a frontside 180. Okay, so backside 180 at the end. I did some backside 180s at the end after I did some frontside 180s, and they were really pathetic because I was exhausted. And yeah, so I was doing frontside 180s half an hour that day. Okay, and so now this day, and what you are going to see here is 10/15, so which is a couple days later, and here I warmed up a little bit with ollies and frontside 180s for 20 minutes. I mostly did frontside 180s, and here's a few clips of what you're going to see here in a minute is some good frontside 180s that I was doing, and so you can kind of get an idea of where I am in the frontside 180 progression thing. So the whole session was mostly focused on backside 180s, as you're about to see. Maybe I can't remember if I filmed that part or not. I'm getting better at turning apparently. So let's take a look at here. So you're gonna see my frontside 180s. Very solid. That one was very solid. And honestly, nobody can complain with that. I'm doing really good. I'm not pivoting as much as I was the other day. I had that pivoting down. Man, that was a pretty big one. I had that pivoting down pretty good the other day. That one was good too. But yeah, I have these down really solid for somebody that can't even backside 180 yet. I have these down really solid. And then here again, same day, doing the backside 180s into the grass. Over and over and over and over. Pretty much looks the same. Although, see, here's the thing. My shoulders really aren't turning. It's just my hips have figured out how to turn without my shoulders turning. I'm pretty flexible. Oh, that time my shoulders turned a little bit. I'm pretty flexible, so that's pretty easy to do. But you can see here, like there, I just failed. But you can see I'm turning totally. So I'm kind of doing this like weird hybrid, not turning my shoulders. I imagine that once I start actually doing backside 180s, I think I'll end up turning more. But yeah, I'm sorry for like the blurriness. Because it's a GoPro and it has everything's automatic. The shutter speed's turned way down to, because it's kind of like twilight outside, so that's why it's blurry. Maybe I'll actually get some lights out there one day and light it up. Very funny, I know. Hilarious. Let's see, yeah. I mean, I honestly, I just did this a ton. Probably I just slipped out. Just absolutely did this a ton, and probably I did this practices for about 4 hours total, currently. So I did this a lot. Yeah. Let's see. What is this? What does my trusty dusty McPete say? Okay. So here, that whole session lasted about 45 minutes. Okay, and here's another thing, very important for backside 180s into that grass, or just backside 180s, or any 180s in general when you're trying to learn them. Don't try to go as high as you can. You don't need to, okay? Just, give it an okay pop, maybe even less than okay, just to get yourself used to the idea of popping and turning. You don't have to, because that was my main problem pretty much, is popping way too hard, and then the board kind of just like flies away, is because you're focusing too much on that. I rather like that day. That was a pretty good day. So the exact next day after that, I ollied a couple times. I was having a little bit trouble popping the tail, and this is reinforced because I didn't eat particularly well. When I don't eat a balanced meals throughout that day, and then I go and skateboard, I have trouble focusing. Pretty sure it's not just me. I'm pretty sure a lot of people can have that problem, even if they don't realize that. I was thinking too much, as I said, and it was getting cold. Could be a problem. And then frontside 180 for 30 minutes. Kind of been obsessed with them lately. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of frontside 180s. Not so much like currently as I speak. Should maybe be listening to music because I might be thinking too much again. That totally gets blown out of the water. That's not the case. And then I did backside 180s for 10 minutes. Yeah, let's see. Didn't look any different, and I really tried to imagine myself rolling away onto the ground. So, yeah, instead of like landing in the grass. And that whole session was like 45 minutes. And then this next day, which is about a little while after this, is 11 days after it. On a Monday, 10/26, warm up 15 minutes, ollie twice, frontside 180 a bunch. Blah, 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 session for 30 minutes. I did a backside 180 into the grass a bunch, and I was too hungry again. And then I also had my bushing crack today. If I can get a picture, I'll put it up on screen now. But I also had my bushing crack. I have standard Thunder High trucks, and I don't think they're supposed to crack this early. I've had them for about 8 months, and as far as like real skaters are concerned, if you actually went out and like skated every other day, which I don't, or every day, they're probably been used for about like a real skater's 2 months. So what the heck, Thunder? Honestly, now I have to go buy new bushings. I don't know if it's because my bushings are really loose or what the problem is, but that got me kind of angry. I'm still skating it. It's working okay, but I'm gonna get some new ones soon. And a couple days after that, it'd be a Wednesday, the 28th of the 10th month, which is what, October, if I can just remember that. I warm up for 10 minutes, ollied frontside 180, session 30-40 minutes. So skateboard for 30-40 minutes, and I did some backside 180s into the grass. There you go. And yeah, sorry guys for the kind of the wordy entry. I just need to get those out of the way. I'm still kind of working on my formula, although I pretty much got it down now. So bear with me. Almost done. But yeah, and then another thing I just want to quick add about doing anything in the grass is that you will get dirt in your bearings. Like my bearings are pretty much shot, and I have to get new ones. Not that, they're Bones Reds, $15, big deal. But just to warn you, you might want to have like a pair of wheels that have your dirt bearings in them, so you can go and get those bearings dirty if you want to practice doing tricks into the grass, or just stuff like that. And then you have your regular bearings that you go and skate around, or whatever you do. Just saying, your bearings get dirty, and mine are very dirty, and they're pretty much ruined at the moment, so I have to get new ones. But yeah, so guys, I hope you dug it. Thumbs up if you like this video. Sorry again for the wordy entry, but it's got to be done occasionally. And yeah, I'm really excited for the next entry, guys. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see the next entry. Should have that up in the week or 5 days, depending on when I get it edited. But yeah, exciting stuff is happening. I'm planning, or not. I'm not planning, but I'm telling you. Spoiler alert: exciting stuff is happening. So yeah, also leave a comment below, subscribe, And yeah, so I pretty much got to stop talking now because I need to go eat lunch. So, yep, keep skating, stay psyched. I'm out of here. Peace.